What's up, YouTube? Here we are at part 5. Just kind of things that I do, my strategy, what works for me. Not the same thing will work for everyone, but check this out. We got the WeatherTech mats. We cleaned everything today. Those are actually almost harder to clean than carpets. They never look shiny again once you wash them. Once you use them, you get them, they're all nice and shiny. You'd have to spray like some tire shine on them or something, and then they're just going to be slippery and nasty. But I'm going to be changing my oil while I'm talking to you guys. So here, hang tight. Cleaned my engine bay today. I bought an air filter the other day, a Fram, and it's the wrong one. And I look it up on Fram's website. They don't even make one for the 17, it says. The 17 Pacifica with a 3.6. So, yeah. I bought coolant because for some reason my coolant level was way down there. So I bought coolant. I bought an oil filter, which on a Pacifica it's right there. And then you've got the big panel on the bottom. You gotta open up the door, the trap door, to get to the oil bolt. So I'll show all you guys that while I kind of just go over what I do. Obviously, we've seen, you know, I've done the step 1 through 4, the finding, the negotiating, the buying, the cleaning. That everyone's going to encounter. You know, that's just what you got to do if you're going to buy and sell cars, or even buy a car, to find the cheapest car, the best deal. I mentioned it in my last video. Stay within a price range. My philosophy is, if I were buying $5,000 to $10,000 cars and selling them, you know, $5,000 to $10,000 or $12,000, I would probably sell one car every 2 months. Maybe I'd sell one a month. It's just harder. I mean, you get into that much money, people are dealing with banks. People are asking for Carfax reports. People are asking a lot more questions than, does it run good? Does it shift good? You know, when you stick to 1,000 to about 3,000 and under. Like, I post them for 3, but I usually sell them for around 28. 3,000 and under is the area you want to stay in. You can sell one a week doing it that way, and you can make $4 grand in a month with this, or even more, honestly, you know, when you buy multiple cars. But yeah, stick with the price point, keep it low. Everybody's got that money laying around. As long as what you have is good, reliable, and clean, people are gonna buy it. And as long as you're finding them cheap and you have room to post it cheap, you're gonna do all right. Let's get this thing jacked up. These Pacificas, the whole bottom has a plastic layer. All right. Always use jack stands. Check this out. Here's my oil change door. There we go. Boom. It is a 13. Talk about a lucky guess, huh? I love changing the oil in my cars because it frickin' just makes it run so much smoother. Gosh, how much dust gets caught up in there? Good gosh. The last thing you want to do is strip out your frickin' drain plug. Alright, and then set your pan up because it's going to come out. Yeah. That's dark. Where's that dripping from? Come on. I swear, I can never do an oil change without getting it all over the freaking floor. Look at that. Oh, Jesus. See? See what I mean? Good Lord. Once that's all drained out, there's my oil filter, which is also messy. Another thing that I like to do is search keywords. I know I said it in another video. Let me elaborate. So, if you're trying to find, because what I try to do is I try to find like 2004s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, you know what I'm saying, for cheap. I'm trying to find them for $1,000 to $1,200. That's where I like to buy at. It's like $1,000 to $1,200. So to find those, you're not just gonna find an immaculate, 2008, and these people are trying to sell it for $1,000. I mean, it does happen to people that have bought them new and have had it for a long time and bought something else new, but not generally. So with your keywords, type needs work. Some cars, transmissions are really easy to do. I'll type in needs transmission. I'll type in needs bodywork. Hit a deer. These are all things that you type in the search bar. This is, because I know I'm going to be fixing stuff if I buy these cars this cheap. And most of the time you can't buy it that cheap and then just resell it without doing anything. I mean, you can, but you make more money if it does need some work. So yeah, hit a deer, has a dent, needs wheel bearing, stuff like that. I will type in the search bar and it will pop up with just a bunch of random cars, and I can go through and sift through those and decipher which ones I want. If something, say, has a fender dent, I don't buy things with quarter panel dents. Like back here in the quarter panel, I never buy anything with a quarter panel dent because all that's welded in. It's actually got to be cut right there, drilled out, all that stuff. I buy dented stuff that's got a fender dent. You got 2 bolts back here, 3 bolts up here, 2 bolts here, and a fender liner. You go to the junkyard, you can usually find a matching fender. Or needing a bumper. Bumpers are easy to put on. Hoods are easy to put on, 4 bolts. Simple. Doors, just like the Saturn hitting the door. Literally, it's going to be, hinge bolts there and hinge bolts there. If it's got 2 hinges on it, it may just have 1 center hinge, 2 bolts. That door will be replaced. Transmissions, I don't do transmissions in a lot of vehicles, but Hondas, Civics, little Hondas are super freaking easy. You watch these Honda racers that build their Civics and their whatevers, they can take a tranny out and put it back in 25 minutes. It's literally that easy. Takes me a few hours, but still. A few hours worth of work. The trannies are only like 85 bucks at the junkyard. They're a dime a dozen. So easy to find. You got the 05 Civic to like 08 or 09 that all have bad trannies. Stay away from those because the fact that they all have bad trannies, that means that junkyards know that and they make you pay for the tranny. So those trannies are more expensive. Let's see, what else do I do? So stay within your price range. That's how I search for cheap stuff. And back to step 1, my biggest tip is I find something for 1,800 bucks, I say I can come right now with 1,100 bucks. That's the biggest tip I can give you. If you don't like making people mad, don't do it, because people get pissed off, and when they get pissed off, stay polite, because 3 days later, at least 80% of the time, 3 days later, they will write me back and say, hey, you still interested? I'll take 1,100 today. Swear to God, almost every time. And by then, I've already bought another car. And I just tell them, nope, I ended up buying something else, thank you. But when they get rude with me, if I get rude back, they're never gonna write me back. You know what I mean? They're never gonna come back 3 days later and tell me, all right, I'll take 11. You know what I mean? Most of the time, I get these cars cheap on the actual quality of the ads. You know, people take the crappiest pictures. They have the crappiest descriptions. Answer on the ones that say, all of a sudden went out one day and wouldn't start. I just inquired on an ad like that today because we just sold the Jeep, so I got to find something to buy today so I can try to sell it this week. That way I can add the money I made from the Jeep to whatever else I sell this week, and I can commit it just right to this week's income. I try to go weekly, what I make weekly. Just said, drove it to the store, came out, wouldn't start. That's all the ad said. So I actually, responded and was like, so turns over and doesn't start, or turn the key and nothing happens. You never know what it is. If it's turn the key and nothing happens, I'll go buy that dang thing, tap the starter, start it up, and drive it home. It's generally the starter. You know what I mean? But if it's just turning over and turning over and turning over and turning over, that could be a slew of things. That's fuel pump, injectors, security. You know what I mean? That I'll tend to shy away from. But literally, I bought a built Mitsubishi Eclipse one time. The young kid, he put so much money into this dang thing. It was an automatic, but he actually installed a shift box, like a Triptronic shifter. Big turbo, all kinds of stuff done to it. Lived at home with his parents. He put all this money into it, got it running, went out one day, and it wouldn't start. And I asked him, so what? It's just, turn the key, nothing. So I go check it out, and I'm sitting there, and we turn the key, not a click, not nothing. So I'm like, huh. I offered him $1,200 for this car, and his mom got mad because she was like, no, you just put this much money into this thing. There's no way you can sell it for that. And he's like, Mom, it doesn't run. I don't want, I'm sick of it. And it's got to get out of here. So I ended up getting it for $1,200. Pushed it out to the road because I had to come back with somebody. And we got back. Swear to God, went in the trunk, grabbed the tire iron, climbed underneath it just to see, tapped the starter, and it fired right up, and I drove it home. That is not a lie. It's happened, and it does happen. Yeah, I can only imagine what he thought when he heard me start that car and drive off. But that happens, and you've got to know these things so that you can judge it. Because when you get a woman that owns a car, she don't know nothing. You know what I mean? And if she doesn't have anyone to help her, she's going to think the car's dead. So always ask questions on anything that doesn't run. If it's real vague, a lot of people will say transmission slipping. You already know the training's out. Or engine's knocking. Or engine started knocking, then quit. You know what I mean? That you know what you're dealing with. But and then always look at every ad that seems like a deal. I like to stick to my Jeeps, my V-dubs, my trucks, all that stuff. I do because I know that stuff. I know what to look for. I know what's wrong when stuff's broken on them. But sometimes you will find something, like an Audi. I bought that Audi from auction. Sometimes you find an Audi. I don't know nothing about them, and I learned my lesson. The whole front ends are plastic, so do not buy a smashed Audi. You will pay dearly because everything up front breaks. That front radiator support just shatters, and everything along with it. So you can go back to one of my first videos actually on my channel. I had that Audi Avant. I loved it. It was sweet. But man, was it a pain to rebuild. And always try to recycle your oil, guys. I always make a mess doing this, so don't judge me. But this is 020, so it's thin as heck. I don't know why these new cars use such thin oil. I I can't even use the Lucas stabilizer that I used in the other cars, the older cars, in this, because there's a reason why the oil has to be so thin, and I don't want to thicken it up. You know, maybe after it hits 150,000 miles, or who knows, or maybe they have a different oil stabilizer for this vehicle or this motor, but 0-20 is thin and it's only got 30,000 miles on it, so I'm just gonna leave it alone and just keep changing it with what it's supposed to be for now. Alright, drain plugs back in, spill on the floor, so I'm gonna lower it back down so we can change this. Alright. Size is I don't know if 1 inch is the correct size, but it fits on there good. Alright, and this is just plastic, guys, so you want to be gentle with it. Alright, we're good. Now this, on the other hand, though, it like snaps in down in there. That's the oil filter. Comes with a new O-ring for your cap, because you got an O-ring on there. Take some oil off of this filter, put it around that bad boy. Okay, take our oil filter, our oil cap, stay. We're gonna drop our oil filter down in that hole. You should feel it snap in just like that. And then this screws on top. So there, oil's in, oil change is done. Now I'm gonna start it and run it for a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna check it, see what we got. Alright, now this is how you reset it. I read all kinds of stuff and they're saying push the start stop button 2-3 times and then hit the gas pedal 3 times. No, you push this button once, twice till it's on run. It'll be on run right there. And then you go to your message center, scroll down. Come on, let's go. Audio, messages, screen setup, speed warning, speedometer, vehicle info. Now scroll over to the right. That's oil temp, oil pressure, oil life, 100%. Once you get to that screen right there, literally all you do is hold OK in the center of your pad here, hold OK, and it will automatically go to 100%. It is literally that simple. No pushing your gas pedal, no weird push this button 3 times. Literally push your start stop button until it's on run, I think 2 or 3 times, whatever. Just look at the light, it'll say run. Right there it says run. I reset it. Now I just go back to off. Watch. Yep, once, twice. That might be why they said push that twice. But they said push that twice and then hit the gas pedal slowly 3 times. No, do not do that. I just was out here looking like a daggone idiot for 10 minutes. Well, thanks, Google. Alright, we got it. So, oil's changed. I gave you 2 tips. And you know what? Stick with me. Keep watching my videos, and as I buy these cars, I'm going to give you more information, because for me, it's really hard for me to come up with stuff off the top of my head. The fact that I'm making these videos is it's seriously crazy because I'm not really a people person. And when I first started this channel, I was legitimately terrified. And I'm kind of just getting more and more comfortable. I just try to treat it as I'm, talking to a friend. But yeah, stick with the channel. As I buy more things, I get them home and I'm like, all right, yep, we went through this. This was said. This was said. If you come across this, do this. You know what I mean? I'm way better at that. But as for now, if you want to sell volume, you'll make more money selling volume than you will selling, more expensive cards. Unless you're buying, say, a Hellcat from Copart and, you get it for 15 grand, rebuild it, and you sell it for 60, 70. Yeah, you're going to make a lot of money there. But we ain't all doing that, you know what I mean? I watch these car channels, and these guys all got these lifts and these Lamborghinis and all these badass tools. And heck yeah, it's fun to watch. It's fun to dream about. But what about us guys that are actually on the floor in our garages doing this stuff? You know what I mean? What about us guys that are literally making our own tools, like out of PVC pipe and whatever, to get these jobs done? Because we don't have the money to go buy this specialty thing. You know what I mean? It's just, we do what we got to do. That's why my whole channel started over. Do whatever it takes, because I literally do. When I'm supporting these 6 boys and my wife, and I do whatever it takes. If I need a special tool, I try to make it, you know what I mean? Up until recently, I never had the money to just go out and buy tools. Literally, most of my tools I have acquired here in the last few months. Since I've been buying and selling. I'll make a good sale, make a couple $1,000, and then I'll go buy a couple tools, My next purchase is going to be a toolbox. Look at this. Look at this setup, guys. Like, I'm working with the same thing most of y'all are. And before those, I was working out of those. Right there. I found that one in the trash. It was actually an alignment machine. The computer was inside there. I found it in the trash, and I was like, I can get all my sockets in here and my drivers all in one spot. So when I need them, boom, there they are. You know what I mean? I found this one in the trash. This is all my paint supplies. I got my clear coat. I got my reducers, my reducer, my hardener for my clear coat, my glazing putty, my mixing cups. I actually found this on the side of the road. My next door neighbor threw it out. I put a couple stickers on it, Motion Auto. I did not win the Supra. Gosh dang it. I was so mad when I didn't win it. Bought myself a $30 freaking t-shirt with a Supra on it. Thought I was going to win it, but it is what it is. But yeah, like, I did buy that welder for $175. It was such a deal, I could not freaking beat it. That compressor, I just bought that 2 weeks ago, if that, because I desperately needed a compressor that would actually push like a spray gun or an impact driver. Up until 2 weeks ago, I couldn't even use my air tools because my compressor was it was a single pump just like that with an electric motor, but literally it wouldn't even keep up airing up tires. So that's all it was good for, was airing up basketballs and tires. Now I can actually use like that sprayer cleaner that I bought. I can actually use that. I can actually use impacts. I can use air grinders. I'm telling you, within the last couple months, guys, it's really just turned around for me. I thought about it. If I don't start working on my dream today, I'm never, ever going to. I can sit and dream about it all I want. But if I don't do it today, it's never going to frickin' happen. I'm a union carpenter, so, I could call my union hall tomorrow and have a job Monday. So it's not an issue for me. So what I came up with was, all right, I'm going to try this. I'm going to go for it. Balls to the wall. See how much money I can make. See how many people I can meet. See how far I can get. And if at some point I hit a wall and I can't make it, I can't support my family, I'll call the hall and I'll go back to work on the following Monday. And I'll have my insurance back and I'll continue to put money in my pension. But I was at the same place for 12 years, man, at a power plant. I was knocking down money, big money, working at a power plant. I was there for 12 years. And if I didn't get laid off for that couple weeks, I'd still be there every day, you know, not working on my dream, not even, you know, probably not even making this video, because I would have never been watching DIY Gang and just, you know, thinking, dang it, I can do this. I can buy cars and sell them. Let's see how much money I can make. You know what I mean? So I encourage you, if you have a dream, if you have anything that you want to do, start today. One little step today. I swear to you, tomorrow you'll be farther, and the next day you'll be farther, and you'll get to a point where you'll be like, holy crap. Like, somehow I worked 40, 50 hours a week, and I had none of these tools. But now that I work on my dream, and I have no job, I'm buying tools. I always have cash on hand, always have money, and most of all, I'm happy. So stick around to the channel, guys. I promise you, you'll see the ups and downs. You know, this business with cars, buying and selling and doing the things that I do, the highs are very high and the lows are very low. You know what I mean? When you're broke, you're broke. But when you have money, you have a lot of money. Just stick with me. Please, I ask you to just watch. Encourage me, you know. I want to see you guys in the comments. I want to see ideas. I want, you know, I'm only one person, and if you know something I don't, please tell me. Encourage me, and I'll do the same to you guys. So just stick around. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Share the channel with your friends, you know. Share the videos if you can share them on social media. Just help me out, and I promise when I'm in a position to help you guys out, I most definitely will. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later.